Welcome to this week's edition of the Dixie Sun News at Noon. I'm Monique Chavez.
And I'm Kiara Parham. Thanks for tuning in.
Let's start with the latest coronavirus figures here in Utah. There are 3,445 confirmed cases of COVID-19. Over 76,000 people were tested, 288 hospitalized, and 34 deaths. Here in southwest Utah, there are 70 confirmed cases, 9 hospitalizations, and 1 death.
Dixie State University faculty and staff have early registration access for the DSU Tiny Trailblazers preschool. For more information or to register, visit fshd.dixie.edu/preschool. The city of St. George is slowly reopening its parks. Pioneer Park, home of Dixie Rock, and all skate and bike parks will be open on Saturday. Thunder Junction, All Abilities Park, however, will remain closed. The time of spin scooters has come to a close here in St. George. Transportation company Zaxter, who also provides bikes for the city, has ended its contract with Spin. They are now looking for other companies to supply the city with different forms of transportation.
Through this change to online learning, students have had different reactions to staying at home. Dixie Sun reporter Cami Johnson has more.
Because of the coronavirus pandemic, students are forced to make alterations to not only their academic advancements, but their everyday life as well. While some students find the comfort of their own home to be the best study space, others find the fresh air to be rather helpful.
Online school is a lot harder than I thought it would be. I don't do very well. It's just hard for me to keep up with it because I just forget about it a lot. I honestly miss walking around campus.
Productivity is a key component in the life of a college student. However, with the virus affecting academic success, being productive is rapidly decreasing.
For me, it hasn't been that different. I kind of like waking up and just going straight on to the videos. I know for like some of my roommates and friends, it's been really hard to get out and to feel normal. But yeah.
So I'm at home a lot more, just doing homework online. It's kind of boring, honestly. It just seems like there's not a whole lot to do.
A lot. I try to focus on my school. Been trying to look for a new job, but not a lot of places are hiring because of the quarantine.
I just came out here just to get out of the house and just enjoy the sunshine just on campus.
For Dixie Sun News, this is Cami Johnson.
If you have textbooks to return or sell back, the DSU campus store has you covered. The store is offering textbook buyback and rental return curbside drive-up services April 27th through May 1st from 10 a.m. to 3 p.m. Their services will be located at the campus store dock on the west side of the Gardner Center. Students will be able to drive through and turn back around from a safe distance.
With the end of the semester approaching, there are still resources available to students in preparation for finals week. The Academic Performance Center is available to students who need tutoring or access to the Writing Center. The computer labs in the Holland Building levels 2 and 2M are open Monday through Friday.
With the move of graduation to December comes a range of different questions about who can walk, where, and when to get a cap and gown, and receiving a diploma. During a town hall meeting last week, Director of University Events and Promotions Megan Church answered these questions for the students.
We welcome any graduates from the fall 2019, spring 2020, summer 2020, and fall 2020 graduating class, and that includes our baccalaureate, associate, and master's graduates. Your diploma is mailed to you, and that's dependent once your grades are finalized. So after you complete your coursework and your grades are finalized, they'll mail you your diploma, so don't worry, that's coming. And then to pick up your regalia, right before our commencement ceremony on the 11th of December, we'll host something called the Grad Fair. You'll be able to come in, stop by the alumni house, pick up your caps, gowns, sign up for some alumni opportunities, get a gift, and then reconnect with your class. So have that opportunity. So it will be right before our graduation ceremony on the 11th, and we'll provide details as they become a little bit more available. And we'll send those to your email, try and get them out through social media, and hopefully get you as informed as we can.
Students are waiting for the last minute to do assignments even more so than before. Procrastination has always been an issue for students and professors, but somehow having more time means less student activity. Across the nation, professors are being ghosted by students who just fall off the maps.
I don't know that I've seen a big change, except for the fact that I've had a lot of students who've waited until the last moment to turn in their assignments. So I've had to kind of chase after them a little bit more, saying hey, remember, this assignment is due now. I mean, I'm on social media and I'm friends with a lot of different professors at a lot of different universities. And so they have mentioned just casually, like, I have a number of students who aren't turning in things or seem to have just disappeared, or they aren't working the way they would generally work.
F is for friends who do stuff together. However, that's not quite possible during a national stay-at-home order. I went to social media and asked, what is quarantine fun? The longer we have to stay inside, the more creative we have to become. While outside activities are still available as long as everybody's socially distancing, it's still very limited. I went to social media and asked what are they doing to have fun and how hard is it to come up with cool ideas and activities while being quarantined. Yasmin L. of Gilbert, Arizona said, it's not hard to come up with ideas. For her, I bought her water thing for outside, coloring books, and Disney movies. For myself, going for a walk every day, watching new shows, and make new meals. However, others might find it a bit more challenging to be creative. Jess Lamone from Cedar City, Utah said, it's hard each day to come up with something for them to do. My 3-year-old keeps busy with cartoons, his ABC Mouse app. I have a lot of time to do paperwork and rummage through my closet. With some like myself, you might be in the middle of you know what you want to do, but you might not have that push to actually continue to do what you need to do. Megan Solzman from Hinckley, Ohio stated, I found it harder to get motivation to do things rather than come up with ideas. We are doing a lot of home improvement projects, puzzles, running with our dogs, and eating a ton. I've noticed that the commonality was food. Everyone is beefing up their cooking skills, enjoying the outdoors, and loving and learning new hobbies. My current favorite is TikTok. It's creative, a little bit of cardio, and also keeps everyone at home entertained. I'm hoping everyone is getting creative and having fun during their stay at home.
With the number of food deliveries increasing, Uber Eats has released the list of the most ordered food by state. Overall, fries and pad thai lead the list nationwide, but here in Utah, the most popular dish is carne asada fries. Intermountain Healthcare sent the first group of 50 caregivers to help in New York hospitals last Tuesday. Among the first group of 50 was DSU alumnus Rusty Rohr.
And we've had relatively few COVID-19 positive patients. Those that have been in the ICU have been quite sick, but we prepared for very big numbers and we haven't been hit that hard yet.
Intermountain Healthcare is sending groups of 50 employees to New York in 2-week intervals.
Because we felt very well staffed right now, we felt like, wow, it would be really great to go and serve where there's a profound need. And I think a lot of caregivers, a lot of nurses, apparently some physicians, and others have begun to express interest in going and helping out there. Enough so that Intermountain, I think, said, wow, maybe we need to make a formal effort to facilitate this. I don't think they know totally what to expect. Among the questions they asked us, have you ever been part of a crisis response team? And for me, the answer was no. I just wanted to go out and be available. So I think they're hoping to gain some expertise and some insight from the travel as well. I've actually transitioned through several phases. A few weeks ago, I would come home and I would change outside and go inside and bathe immediately. And then within the last couple of weeks, I started showering at work, changing and coming home in brand new clothes. But in terms of the way our family interacts, we haven't made any special arrangements. I still hug my kids. And I know that there are other caregivers that won't even touch their kids right now. They stay in a separate room from their spouse. Some of them don't even stay in their home. Wearing masks in public is reasonable and appropriate, even if it's a homemade face covering. But the reality is the benefit of the general public wearing a mask is that you protect other people from yourself, so that when you cough or sneeze or talk or spit, that's contained, that you're not spreading that over every surface in the grocery store or wherever else you go.
While nationally, hospitals have been experiencing significant shortages of personal protective equipment, Intermountain Healthcare has been well stocked.
With the exception of the specialty N95 masks, we have had no issues with PPE, at least at Dixie Regional Medical Center, and I think that's the case throughout Intermountain. In fact, Intermountain is bringing PPE for those of us that are going, personal protective equipment for us to utilize while we're in New York. I won't live paranoid, and I'll do my best to serve now, and I'll do my best to serve 6 months and 12 months from now and to help others, because that's part of the pleasure of being a nurse, is you get to be a blessing at work, and ideally you're a blessing outside of that as well. So we'll walk it through, and we'll do our best to help those that are in need throughout the process.
The first group of 50 healthcare workers that were sent to New York last Tuesday are expected to return to Utah next week. And now to Michael for sports.
Back up the pass. He's going to score. 22-yard touchdown.
Hey, what's going on, Trailblazers? Here's what you need to know for what's going on in DSU athletics. Women's soccer has hired a new coach. Dixie Sound reporter Kiara Parham has the inside track.
Even though Dixie State University is still under lockdown, COVID-19 hasn't stopped the university's plans to lead its athletic teams to Division I. And as part of this plan, the DSU female soccer team will be receiving a new coach by the name of Molly Rouse, which the team welcomes warmly.
We just need consistency, really. I think that's the main thing. So I think that will be something she can bring definitely if we develop like a new culture, like a good, just strong culture on our team that's competitive and just positive. And if that can carry on to the next year, that just consistency in coaching would be great to see.
She very quickly rose to the top of our list. And she is the complete package. She's passionate. She's very experienced. She's been at multiple Division I institutions, working her way up in the coaching ranks. So while it may look like, oh, well, she's jumped around all over the place, well, that's what assistant coaches have to do.
The thing that's most exciting is this is not a situation where somebody has to come in and like completely overhaul the program. The women's soccer program already have a strong foundation, already have a strong base. And so the thing I'm excited about is kind of attacking this new challenge and these new obstacles that are inevitable about changing division. I mean, any division change you make, any conference change you make, there are going to be challenges that are presented to the team. And I'm really excited with the experience that I have coming from different Division I institutions to be able to kind of help them navigate those challenges that will come up against us.
And for Dixie Sun News, I'm Kaide Kajibola.
In addition to new coaches, Trailblazers Athletics are still recruiting students during these uncertain times. Here's more information on how some DSU teams still recruit student athletes for next season.
Recruiting for Dixie State Athletics is still ongoing, although it's unfortunate for some student athletes to not be able to view DSU's best features on campus.
It's a lot different. The strengths that we have here at Dixie State for recruiting purposes, we didn't get a chance to use, with the town, the weather, the facilities, our players. When this thing happened, this virus, then we can't bring guys into our campus to see that. And that's one of our strengths of our university.
Fall sports team spring practices have been affected by being prevented to get in the right competitive mindset.
That's those chance for those, young guys that didn't play much in the fall to own their place in the spring and gain that confidence. And we were getting there. We were getting there, and, it still was enough to tell that they've moved on from their redshirt role or their deep line bench role.
It's never too early to think about how incoming freshmen and transfer student athletes can help their teams in the fall or future.
The next few years, really, as far as recruiting, I mentioned before, watching the 21 class, 22 class with no one playing is a drag, but, if everyone does what they're supposed to, we should be good for a few years, and I really like that.
We'll see if the incoming freshmen and transfer student athletes will have the opportunity to prepare for the Division I transition and get ready for the Western Athletic Conference.
Making this transition move, it's going to take some time from D2 to D1, and we feel we got to get those freshmen in, like you just mentioned, to kind of get them, gel them in, or form them into what we need. So we're excited, and I think those guys will be a big part of our transition to the D1 level.
Other DSU teams that are adding key factor to his teams are women's cross country and women's track and field. Glad to see the new faces in Trailblazers Athletics. I'm sure by now everyone is missing the action and competitiveness from sports. However, some professional athletes are keeping their edge by playing video games. Professional athletes from the NFL, NBA, and MLB have been playing video games like Madden 20, MLB The Show, and NBA 2K20. Athletes play against each other competitively and for fun. These games are streamed through Twitch, real announcers commentate the games, and there are after-game interviews with the athletes. You can check out athletes like Tampa Bay Rays pitcher Blake Snell on their respective Twitch channels to watch the action.
And that's it for this semester of the Dixie Sun News at Noon.
We will see you in the fall.
Have a great summer, Trailblazers.